There we go. Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome back to the final hour of trading. It is 3 o'clock Eastern Time, 9 o'clock in the evening here in Vienna, Austria. And what a beautiful place. Folks, the markets are down. Um, they've been down all day. They're still down. We're down 769 points on the Dow Jones, unfortunately. It looks like we've been sort of flatlining around this range for several hours. The low was set around 11 o'clock when the Dow Jones had entered 30,636. We're now 30, sorry, that is incorrect. 30,493. We're now at 30,636. So we've gained 146 points from the low, which would mean that we were down about 900 at the low. That was the problem. Now, right now, down 753. We are pushing the latest range lower. We'll see if this breaks down from here back to where we were this morning or whether we have a bounce back. We've had now 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth time that the Dow has reached this kind of level on the down dip. And then each time it kind of gained 100 points for a while. Came back, gained a little, came back. Right now we're down 768. So we'll see if this is the fourth time lucky, or do we break down again and go back down to the low of the day as we get closer to the close, which is 59 minutes away. Gamestop, 118.55. The low price of the day on our friend Gamestop seems to have occurred around 10 this morning, about half an hour into the day. So the first half hour was brutal. We reached 114.31 for the low trade. And it looks like the stock has attempted a couple of mini rallies ever since. And we've had sort of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. But at 118.58, still down 10.50 on the day, we're really not coming on more than just the $4 that we lost, the $4 that we've lost from here. So we need about a $3-4 move from here to break into the 122.23 range, even then to really try to break up again, go higher. At the moment, there's a little down wave happening, so we'll see if this goes to new low territory or not. And as I speak, the Dow is now down 792. So the Dow is definitely backing off right now, giving up some ground. Over on some of our other favorites, we're off 134 points on the S&P. That's 3.45%. And we're off 475 points on the NASDAQ, 4.19%. The Dow's down 2.5%. So you take the difference between the Dow and the NASDAQ, that would add another 500 points to the downside of the Dow. We'd be down almost 1,300 points if we equaled NASDAQ's sad performance today. There you have it. That is what's going on here. We'll see what happens. 118.42 on GameStop. Now, other stocks we're following. Matterport is down 47 cents, and it's down here to 371. Matterport's low, all-time low, was set today, 365, just around noon hour. So that was the all-time low. We're only 6 cents above the all-time low trade on Matterport, putting Matterport in a super buy area. SmartRent is at 492. It's off 24 cents. The low on SmartRent all-time, 355. We're nowhere near that at the moment. SoFi, 546 last trade. Low of the day, 534. All-time low, 482. We're still 50 cents away from the all-time low. Volume on SoFi, 38 million. Not heavy, but not terribly light either. It's kind of in the middle right now. That is SoFi. Spire is 138 down 12 cents. We reached a low of 135. We stayed there between 135 and 136 for about almost 3 hours. And then around 12:30, we popped up now to this 138 level, just a few pennies higher, and we're flatlining here right now. Volume 526,000. The high today was the opening 144. So we're still down 12 cents at 138 on Spire. AMC down $1 to 11.43. ATIP, it hit a low around 10.45, $1.69. And then for the next the next 3 hours, ATIP tried to recover, and it managed to recover from a low of 169 to 179. And then within 5 minutes, we came right back down to 172, 173. We're 173 and a half, down 26 and a half cents on 550,000. So we're not getting any help from the markets, and ATIP was over $2 on Friday, but under $2 today, now back to 173. Rocket Lab, 410 a share, down 12 cents. That's not too bad in this market. The low was 393 around 10 o'clock. And we actually hit the high of the day just around 11:30, 417. So we came back 20 cents. We're now at 410. We're down just 12 cents, 4.6 million shares. After Rocket Lab, I see Sextera at 12.75, down 75 cents. And I got 23andMe, ME at 228 and a half, up 7.5 cents. The opening trade was the high of the day. That was 239. Within 15 minutes, we were down to 212, but then we bounced back, and we're at 228 and a half, up 7.5 on 5.7 million shares. So the Kramer comment, I guess, if that is what it was, has helped on an ugly, ugly day. Let's be fair. We're down 786 on the Dow, and this thing's up 7.5 cents. That's exceptional. That's the only green one. Pfizer is down $2.04 to 47.93. Under here, it is a bargain. Pfizer is trading at 10.99 times earnings here. So it is super cheap, super moneymaker. HPQ, Hewlett Packard Enterprises, HPQ, or HP Inc., I should say, down $1.32 to 33.96. Trading at 6.06 times earnings. Unreal. It was as low as 33.75 or 33.96, still down 132. Twitter down 179 to 37.19. Home Depot down 650 to $282 a share. The low today was 281.34. We're on between 10 and 11 this morning. We reached that level, 281.34. We're at 282.78, still down and falling right now. Oh boy, Home Depot down. Robinhood 720 down 61 cents. Vanek Vectors at 212.89 down 10.93. This is, and today has been the day that Vanek SMH hit their low of the year. The last 52 weeks was set today the low 211.32. That was just around 11 this morning, and we're at 212.88 right now on Vanek Vectors, the semiconductor ETF. Unbelievable how cheap this is. IBM down just 81 cents. Microsoft down $9.79. Not having a good day. We're now down $9.92 on Microsoft. Apple down $4.63. We're falling off on both of those stocks as I speak. They are both backing up. Goldman down $2.69. Cisco up 9 cents, but it's slipping. Meta Platforms, Facebook down $9.50 to $166. That is really something. 166. Last week, on the 8th of June, today's the 13th, 5 days ago, this stock was 201.48. It's now 166. That's a $36 haircut. 18% in 5 days. Wow. That is ugly, along with that sneeze. That was ugly too. Okay. What else we got going on? Amazon. Excuse me. Amazon. down 557 to 104.08. We're under pressure on Amazon today. Tesla down 48.98. It's at 647.70. Google is also in the red. It's sitting at 21.49. It's off $78. Pardon me, folks. $78. I think Jen gave me a cold. Jen is under the weather, and now I'm sneezing. I blame her. We didn't go out today. We stayed in the room, and we're working hard to get by and keep those videos coming your way, folks. So doing what we can. Down $81 on Google, 21.47. Bed Bath Beyond down 71 cents to 6.41. BlackBerry down 37 to 5.17. Royal Caribbean 41.32. 41.32. Down 4.43. What a dump this thing's having. Just a terrible drop. Target down 4.78. JP Morgan is off 3.63. Costco down 9.27. Walmart down 2.07. Nvidia down $12 to $157. Disney down to 95.83. DeSantis, you just keep messing with those guys. Go ahead, see where that gets you. American Airlines down $1.43 to $13.28. Wow, what a hit. We're off $12 on Netflix to $170. We're well under the 200 mark. So we got some bloodletting going on. We're down 813 points now on the Dow Jones. GameStop 117.33 as we are now within $3 of the low of the day. We are backing up again at the moment, all over the place, including GameStop. This is not a GameStop down day. It's an everything down day, except ME up a nickel. The only other green stock I see is Cisco up 6 cents. I don't know how much longer that's going to last. And all the other stocks I have on my phone, red. Everything else is red. 814-point drop on the Dow Jones. There you go, everybody. That's where we're at. Let's see who's here. Hi, everybody. Richard is thumbs up number 2. Splair, number 3. Options Nomads, number 6. Christina, number 9. Aaron Duchesne is thumbs up number 10. Anything interesting happening earlier? I missed it. Tiff, number 11. Zach, I'm also number 11. No way, says Tiff. Mark, I'm number 13. Larry, hi, everybody. Number 25. Neat. John's here. Aurora's number 32. Kareem, 28. Baby, let's go. Olivia's number 35. What a trading day, says Mama Babe. H. Gregory, I'm 37. BW, absolutely crushed. Alberto, wowza. Kent, hi there. And Alberto says, I'm thumbs up 46. There we have it. That's what we got going here. It's one of those ugly days. As Bruce blows his nose. Oh my gosh, he's struggling. Folks, the YouTuber is struggling, but he's doing the best he can with what little he has. Thank you all for joining us today. What can I say? This morning, you may have been here this morning when I mentioned that we had ordered a small little breakfast, a little tiny breakfast by room service into our hotel room. And at the hotel, they delivered it. And apparently, we were supposed to get it in 15 or 20 minutes, and it arrived after like 30 minutes. And they were so embarrassed by it that the staff member said that the manager told him that it's on the house. We apologize for our tardiness. No charge whatsoever. I said, well, can I give you a tip? He says, no tip required. So thank you very much. And off he went. Well, this afternoon, we're here all day. I'm starving. Time to order in something to eat. So I ordered 2 Vienna sausages. These are like long, skinny hot dogs, and a couple of buns. And Jennifer ordered in a clubhouse sandwich with some fries. And it came up, and this one we had to pay for. And with the tip, it was 53 euros. American money, that's like 57 American dollars for a clubhouse, 2 wieners and buns. Oh, and a beer. And they gave us a couple of chocolates. It was delicious. But in Canadian money, that's about 90 Canadian dollars. Just, look at the good side. We didn't have to take a cab to go to a restaurant to order this. It could have been 15 euros there, 15 euros back. That's 30 euros right there. And, there's no way we would have gotten that food for 29 euros or 26 euros. And it would have still been in the 40s. So welcome to Vienna, where the prices aren't cheap. Okay, just letting you know. You don't come here for the 99-cent buffets like we used to at Vegas, and you don't get them there either anymore, do you? Vegas doesn't have those. BW, looking for more downside. There isn't a lot of support for the S&P 500 until the 200-day moving average of 3,500. If that doesn't hold, then down to 3,250, another 270 points to see what happens. Well, there you are. We're down 833 on the Dow, and we're off 140 on the S&P to 3760, and we're down 499 points on the NASDAQ. We're almost down 500 points. 4.49%. Make it 508 points on NASDAQ. It's not even close. It's now down 508 on the NASDAQ as the Dow is off 861%, 861 points percent. See how I'm losing it? I'm working so hard for you guys. 116.57 is the last trade on Gamestop, and we're about $2.20 away from the low of the day on Gamestop. Bruce, you just got over a cold. Feel better, buddy. Alberto is saying it's a bear market. I did have a cold back in London. I was sniffling and sneezing a lot, and then by the time we got to Amsterdam, it cleared up. And then it's been about 2+ weeks. It's been fine. And then Jen started feeling kind of so yesterday. It started, and now I have the sniffles. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that something? What are you going to do? The hotel wouldn't split us up, eh? They saw her sniffling, and they said what they should have said is they saw her sniffling and said, "Oh, Mr. Bruce, you're a 2-time YouTube creator. You should be in the presidential suite, and we'll just put Jennifer in one of the other rooms." But no, they didn't do anything. They put us together in one of the other rooms. I don't have enough viewers, I guess. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. She is going to hit me later. She's going to hit me, but then she does hit. So what's the surprise there? No, there's no surprise. In any event, welcome to the craziness of this channel as we come into 43 minutes of trading time before we're done for the day. Thank you all for joining us. Bama Babe, my partner, just tested positive for COVID today. This stuff is very contagious. Yeah, no kidding. You had it. Now your partner has it. How about that? Unreal. We tested ourselves. We got tested in Dortmund. After I had that cold in London and Edinburgh, we were in Dortmund at my cousin's, and we tested when we arrived. We were negative, and I tested 2 days later because I came down with a sniffle attack. I just had a sneeze after sneeze. I must have had some pollen or something. And they were all concerned. Oh, what have you got? So I had another test, negative. So I have yet to test positive for this thing. So I feel fine. I'm a little tired, but fine. We're good. It's been a long day for me today. Well, Mondays are always the longest day for us because I do my 3 telecasts with you guys, and then I do 2 telecasts on the other channel, which I've just finished. So it's a long Monday, and I really love Tuesdays. Anyway, we're down 816 on the Dow again. 816 points on the down dip. 30,493 is the low. We're at 30,584. So less than 100 points away from the low of the day. We'll see if we hit it or not. Don't know. We might bounce off from here. This might be a support. It's the second time we've been down here. Now we'll bounce up. That could happen. Sure, it could. I don't know if it will. I don't know. SoFi 550. The low of the day on SoFi 534. Now at 550. Trying to put a little upspin here on 42.3 million volume. So let's go SoFi. How about a 45-cent run right now? Smart Rent 494 and a half, down 21 and a half cents. Matterport 370, down 48 and a half cents, with a 365 all-time low today. 117.30, 116.94 on GameStop. All right. Yes, I am feeling fine now, but still testing positive. And that's how this thing works. You feel fine. You don't know you have it. Can you imagine you never knew you had it? You never knew. And you feel fine now, and you're going, well, I couldn't possibly have it, and you're a super spreader. That's how this darn thing works. It's sneaky. It is sneaky, and that's why the Chinese can't stop this thing. They think they have it licked, and then it comes back. Nick is in the house at Thumbs Up 66. How you doing, buddy? Thank you. I hope you're making lots of money in your Tesla today. Hope the trades on Tesla are working out for you. Home Depot down 659 to 282.65. And the low was 281.34. So you're only $1.30 away from the low of the day on Home Depot. If we have a lousy close, maybe you'll drop another $3-4 and get a lot closer to that 270 something number you're looking for. Well, we'll see. We'll wait and watch, my friend. Down 783 on the Dow. Sean and Wendy, God is amazing. Bama Babe, hope they feel better. Hope you are feeling better too. Right on. Kind words from kind people. 786 point drop today on the Dow. Yuck. Okay. It is what it is, kids. It is what it is. Just taking a look over here. There's a Barron's article that's titled, China's economy is in trouble. The ripples will hit the Fed. The article says that the world's two largest economies are navigating an increasingly difficult task. The U.S. Federal Reserve is trying to tamp down inflation without a hard landing, while Chinese policymakers are looking to repair the damage from their zero COVID policies. How policymakers in one country fare could impact the other, adding to the complicated calculus for investors also trying to digest the latest geopolitical escalation as China claims the Taiwan Strait that the U.S. Navy regularly transits isn't international waters. Now, T.S. Lombard, chief economist Frey Beamish, says in a client note that China's policymakers are more likely to keep its economy from going off the tracks rather than breaking first. That means the renminbi is unlikely to depreciate sharply and send global stocks and other risk assets into a tailspin in a way that gives the Fed a way out of tightening monetary policy. In the U.S., Beamish sees a Fed-induced hard landing with more wealth destruction needed to cool the economy and inflation not dissipating over the course of the year, especially as deglobalization pressures take hold. That is not to say there isn't trouble in China. Chinese policymakers are tweaking their harsh zero COVID policies to try to dull the economic pain, including guidelines prohibiting local officials to widen restrictions beyond high and medium COVID risk areas or quarantine those in low risk areas. But Beamish cautions that the priority remains zero COVID and pandemic containment. T.S. Lombard expects China's GDP growth to fall to 3.3%, far below the 5.5% growth target Beijing set out. Although Chinese policymakers have vowed to steady the economy, and most money managers expect them to pull out all the stops, there are limitations. Others also warn that Chinese officials could be hamstrung in their efforts to ease the economic pain. In a note to clients, Gavecal Research's Wei He writes that fiscal stimulus is more urgent as a result of the COVID-related lockdowns hit to an already battered economy. But these lockdowns have also been a drain on revenue and created new spending obligations. And the central government seems reluctant to increase official debt. That leaves local governments possibly raising more hidden debt to prevent a spending crunch, further darkening China's debt troubles. Folks, at the end of the day, China has debt. Whether they have debt that they admit to at the federal level, or whether they have debt at the localized level that they're not reporting on the federal level, it's debt versus debt. You've got one regional government owing the other government. You are draining out, or you are printing way more of your currency to cover your shortfalls. There's debt in them there hills, and that's not a good thing. Anyway, this is likely to add to long-term concerns about China's debt situation. The economy is getting even closer to needing a full-scale recapitalization of its banking system, or at least major liquidity injections, according to Beamish. Though such a move ahead of the 20th Party Congress in the fall is unlikely, authorities will do all they can to sweep the evidence under the rug, even though there's so much under the rug already that stuff is now being pushed out the other side, she says. Against that backdrop, BlackRock Investment Institute strategists are neutral on Chinese stocks, and they aren't rushing to buy despite the biggest year-to-date losses in U.S. stocks in decades. Among the reasons they outlined in the note to clients, valuations aren't that much cheaper when accounting for higher interest rates and a weaker earnings outlook as margins come under pressure. Plus, there is a risk that the Fed could raise rates too high, or the market may expect that it will raise rates too high. BlackRock strategists see a darkening economic outlook hit by persistently high inflation, the spike in commodities prices, and spillovers from a slowdown in China. As a result, the firm is underweight U.S. Treasuries and overweight inflation-linked bonds. There you go. An interesting article right there. Interesting article. 117.55 is the last trade now on Gamestop, with 34 minutes left in our session. And our friends at the Dow Jones are now off 850 points right now. So we're about 50 away from the low of the day as I see it here. SoFi 552, GameStop 117.61, down 11.48. There you go. Well, we'll see what happens. Oil down 43 cents a barrel to 120.24. We are not getting a drop in oil, despite all I've just read you, the possibility of a recession, the possibility of a hard landing, the possibility of China not reaching its objectives, 5.5% growth, only 3.5% growth will come in. Despite all that, the so-called oil speculators are holding the market at $120 a barrel, which tells me they either know something we don't know, or they're artificially holding the market up, thinking that somehow there will be an economic whatever and it'll all be fine. And I don't think that's the case at all. Well, we'll find out. We're down 876 points on the Dow. We are backing off some more. Oh my gosh. We're down 147 on S&P. NASDAQ down 520 now. 4.6%. Let's round it up. 4.6% drop on NASDAQ. The Dow's off 2.8. So the Dow's going to have to drop 1,500 points if it's going to match the lousy performance of NASDAQ today. But it's not. It's down 868 861, 868 right now. It's not dropping as much as at this moment. It can change, but at the moment, the 30 are holding their own to a degree because almost all of the 30 stocks pay a dividend. Some, like IBM, yield higher than others. And so their downward pressure is negated by the fact that the yield that you can earn owning these shares is better than the 10-year treasury, and that keeps the stocks from dropping too far, too fast. The U.S. 10-year is now at 3.42%. This is terrible. We were at 3.16 last night, overnight. 3.16. We're now 3.42. This kind of a move usually takes a week to 2 weeks. It happened today. Okay, this is light speed in this business, in this interest rate business. Not a good thing. Germany at 163. They were down at 150, now 163. That's not good. Italy at 4.01. That's their treasury prime lending rate at an Italian bank. You're talking 7 to 9% now. Think about that. Think about going into a bank in Italy and talking about a mortgage at 8.5%. Think about that. In the US, we're freaking out. In America, because it's 5.3. How about adding another 50% interest to that number? Whoops is what we say to that one. Yikes is another word we like to use. Euro 104.13 crashing. The euro was 105.1 last night. It's now 104.1. The pound sterling 121.21. That's off 2 cents in the last 24 hours. That is crushingly bad, really bad. The cost of living has just surged for Euro and UK businesses and people because their currencies are worth less money. Good news for Americans. If you want good news as an American, you could say, well, the US dollar is rising against these guys. So imports from Europe, imports from the UK and Europe will be cheaper for us. Yep, that's true. That's great. But the problem is if your customers on the other side of the Atlantic can't buy as much of your stuff because your costs are way higher now, you got a problem. You're not shipping as many goods overseas. Where are they going to go? They're custom made for Europe. They're custom made for the British market. You can't ship this stuff now to Africa. You got to customize it for Africa. So this is a bad thing. We're down 915 points on the Dow Jones right now. This is the low of the day. We are just about there. We're going for 1,000 points here. Wow, unbelievable. GameStop, 118.21, not leading the way. It's getting sucked along in the vortex, but it is not the driver of the downdrift of the market. It's just going with the flow. SoFi, 552, down 41, and Matterport, 370. They're hanging on, trying to anyway. ATIP, 174, down 26, and ME still up 4.2 cents today. It's the only stock up, the only one. We're down 210 on Pfizer, 149 drop on HP, Hewlett Packard. Some hits there. We're down 750 on Home Depot. Nick. You're down to 281.75. It's slowly but surely coming your way, bit by bit by bit. You've been hanging in there now for almost 2 whole weeks. You're finally getting your reward, I hope. You sure have deserved it. And, we'll see if it can keep dropping for you. 281.54 down 770 on Home Depot. The Dow down 936 points. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Coyote says 3 million volume on GameStop today. Austin, the price of gas is so important to the average person that nobody's doing jack about it. Michael, I'm working from home, Austin. I'm doing my part. There it is. Use less. That's your part. Wing Commander, waiting for S&P to decide on what it wants to do. Also trying to sell cash-secured puts on Matterport, 2.5 for 49 cents, and BBY 5s for 159, expiring Jan 23. No luck so far. Let's see. Austin, that's sort of a penny a gallon, right? Who cares is number 74 thumbs ups. I'm driving an electric, as Bruce can attest, and what an electric car it is. A beautiful Audi. What a machine that is. Pretty cool bean stuff. Michael, it's all about them record profits. Austin and Bilbas respectfully disagree bigly. Nick, Uncle Bruce, I had done lots of trading on Tesla today and have crossed my $5,000 goal of today. My profit right now in Tesla stands to be $8,088, hoping to make 10 grand by the end of the day. Way to go, Nick. That's beautiful. Nice job. I hope this Home Depot keeps falling for you. It'll add to it for you. Wing Commander, then again, when I think how I used to work before COVID, constantly on the road, going from one country to the next and coming home just to do my laundry, and how I'm working now, things have changed nicely. Zach, I had a nasty sore throat minus thing all weekend. Finally feeling better. Didn't have any COVID tests to check. Now my wife is feeling off, so I'm heading to the store for tests. No COVID, please, no COVID. John, too bad we are getting bent over a barrel for gas, food inflation while the administration figures out what day of the week it is. You can hate on Trump all you want, but come on, Wing Commander. This is like a 10-year leap in how we do some things. It's true, Vilbus. What would you like to see happen that is actually a realistic possibility, Michael? Listen, I hate all the politicians, but Biden doesn't control gas prices. No, Biden doesn't invade Ukraine. Biden doesn't screw up China's housing policies. It's China. It's Russia. I mean, what are you going to do? John, not to be dependent on foreign oil. Michael, blame the companies for price gouging and the politicians doing nothing about it. John Bickman, he does control that, right? Austin, drill, pump, lease, anything, everything that increases supply. Unfortunately, it's going to take a while because the powers that be claim they have no power, but gas was $2 18 months ago. John, not sure, but just admit fault. 100% agree. John, Michael, not sure if he even controls his bladder anymore. Vilbus, presidents have very little control over gas prices. John, also 100% correct. He suffers from dementia and shouldn't be in power, nor should Giggles. Mirko, hey, Uncle Bruce, I rolled my 2 GameStop 105s for this Friday. One into a 110, 4 weeks for a 489 profit, and one into a 105, 2 weeks out for a 443 profit. Which one would you have chosen? I like them both. I think they're both very good. I have to say, to get 443 for 2 weeks is fantastic when you only got 40 odd cents more for the extra 2 weeks. So I certainly like those 2 weeks, 2 week ones. Vilbus, it's actually a miracle that it's taken this long for us to pay this much. Austin, Vilbus, the president has more control over the price of gas than any other person in the entire world. If she claims they can't help, they need to resign. Vilbus is laughing out loud. Vilbus, OPEC would like a word. A Wing Commander, the same argument can be made for the one who should be named John. We shouldn't turn this chat into a political debate. This ain't Fox News. Vilbus, anybody with a real leverage on gas prices benefits from them being high. Biden sure as hell would lower prices if he had the power. After all, he's the one everyone blames on it. Austin, it's not even a political debate to say open up U.S. oil now and try to help Americans. When did that become political? You ran for the White House. Open it up. Let's go already. Thanks, Obama, says Michael. John, to be fair, I didn't start the gas talk. Go back and look. Trust me, the political talk didn't start here. Wing Commander, presidents are always being blamed, both for their actions and inactions, as well for failures of the previous administration. Vilbus, Biden ain't keeping them from producing domestically. He can't force them to drill. Vilbus, the reality is we should be divesting from fossil fuels as rapidly as possible. Our entire way of life is a house of cards propped up on cheap energy that's not so cheap anymore. Austin, Vilbus, no thanks. You can divest. I'm good with gas. $2 gas, good. $5 gas, bad. Michael, I will devote my time to mastering cold fusion. Vilbus, every person, family, burning gas to power your own multi-thousand-pound hunk of metal and live daily life is absurdly insane. Absolutely. Just because we live that way doesn't make it not insane. Mirko, but the 4 weeks is from 105 to 110. So, there you go. Thank you for this, Mirko. You're right. Getting that extra 5. This is a good move. That is an excellent move, and thank you, because I'm a little tired, and I missed that part of the explanation. Nice job. 879 is the down dip on the Dow. Matterport is 372. Smart Rent down to 489. SoFi 552. Spire 135. GameStop 118.04. Oh my gosh. Preach it, Vilbus. 100% agree with you, man. Preach it for sure. Absolutely, everybody. Cheers to all of you from around the world who are watching me here today. I got some Coca-Cola Light. It's gone completely dark outside. The sun has set. It's 9:38. And the lights of Vienna are coming on. And so there you are. BW, would you rather the Fed just do a 75% point hike on Wednesday and quit the thinking around with inflation? Just rip the Band-Aid off already and get the financial flush over with. Well, now that we know what the inflation number was from Friday, because we were waiting, we finally got it. I don't have a problem if they go 75. I also wouldn't have a problem if they went 1 point. But they haven't telegraphed it. And so this is not how they like to work it. They like to give the street a bit of an indication So the street goes, okay, we're on the same page with you. Thanks for the heads up. We trust you. We know. Okay, maybe you waited too long. Maybe you didn't. You'll have to go higher. We don't know how much higher. Okay, okay, okay. So if it's a half a point this month, and next month it's worse, the 8.8%, 9.2% inflation, three quarters of a point or a point, I would be happy with that too. But even if they moved it up 1 point right now, this is not going to tame inflation. This is going to hurt the economy. That's really the problem here. The only way to tame inflation is to slow down an economy. The problem with slowing down an economy is you tap the brakes from way back. And by the time you stop tapping the brakes, the slowdown is continuing on its own now. And will keep the slowdown will keep on going. And you don't want that now. Now you want to just coast. And it's a delayed reaction. So you gotta really you gotta let them do what they do. It's not an easy job. The ramifications are trillions and trillions of dollars. Wealth. The ramifications are families breaking up, suicides. It's businesses collapsing. It's partners abandoning business deals. It's a lot of stuff, and it's a tremendous responsibility. And you don't want to cause needless pain if it's not necessary. On the other hand, not doing enough causes pain. So it's a no-win situation for these people. Believe me, it's a no-win situation. They're in tough. They're in tough. LL, I'm thumbs up number 90, buddy. Thank you for number 90 thumbs ups, and all of you all the way up to 90. And now, sell my house in Upper Marlboro, number 92. Thank you, Michael. Okay, cold fusion is harder than I thought. Sean and Wendy, Uncle Bruce, you've seen a few Fed chairs. Is he the first one that took this? I will announce what we do before. Did another Fed chair do that? Well, I remember when Alan Greenspan was the Fed chairman, and this is probably his second term, maybe his third term, because he was the Fed chair for 16 or 20 years, like a long time. And I do recall him making a speech somewhere. It might have been the Washington Press Club or something. I don't know. At the time, the markets had been doing rather well, and he commented that the markets were running on a lot of exuberance. He had very fancy words he used, and what he was trying to say was, at the Fed, we notice that the markets are way ahead of the economic realities of the market, and that the stock markets are anticipating pretty good earnings from a lot of the stocks out there. And in his opinion, that was maybe a little too optimistic, or you might not get as much exuberance as you think you're going to get, because without saying it, I might raise rates on you. But as it turned out, he didn't do anything for a year and a half. It took a year and a half before he raised rates to try to cool things off. This is back in, I think, the 90s sometime. It was a long time ago. But the former chairman that we've had, they've all had their way of explaining or intimating what they're doing. But you got to get to know these guys. And again, you and I don't have to know these guys. It's not our job. There are professionals who will dissect what they say and try to put it into understandable language. But at the end of the day, this Fed is going to raise rates. There's no question. By the way, we're down 982 on the Dow, 982 points right now on the Dow Jones. GameStop 117.76. We are just at the low here. We were down 990 something points. We almost hit 1,000 on the downside. We're probably going to break it. It's just a little pause before we do. We have 16 minutes to go, so we could lose another 200 here if it wants to really back off at the end, but we'll see if that really is going to happen. Right now we're down 977. I will note Matterport is a little better right now. at 378. It has popped up from about 371 to 379 now, but that's not going to move the Dow. Smart Rent is still under pressure at 487, down 29 cents. SoFi is going higher. It's at 556. The low was 534 this morning. We're now at 556, still down 39, 38 cents. Spire lower at 134. GameStop 117.53, down 11.56 right now. AMC down 104. ATIP taking a bit of a pop lower at 171.5, down 28.5 cents. Rocket Lab is piddling along here, down 15 cents. Cyxtera backing off, down to 12.57, down 93 cents. ME down a bit, but still up 4.5. Pfizer down 219. HPQ lower, down 163. Home Depot dropping 281.74. Vanik down 248. IBM dropping 153 lower. Microsoft down 1090. Apple down 506. Goldman down 520. Cisco down 29 and dropping. We were positive when I started this show. Meta Platforms, Facebook down 1070. Amazon down $6 to 103. That's like losing $120 a share pre-split. We're at 103.65. Tesla down $50. Gonna split 3 for 1. Google down $87 to 21.40 right now. We got red in them there, Hills. We're down 9.52 on the Dow, and we have 14 minutes to go. Nick, I have a mortgage rate of 2.875 for 30-year fixed. Right on, John. Great rate, Tiff. The best thing I did today was take a long walk with my dog. Alex, Bill was gets it. Bill was weaning ourselves off fossil fuels is one good thing that could come out of this war. H. Gregory, I watched Inside Job and Wall Street in preparation for this week. I love learning about the history of the markets, factual and Hollywood produced. Margin Call is a good one. And then The Big Short is a very good show. Both very, very good shows. All right. GameStop 118.22 down 10.87. The Dow down 9.54. Yeah, okay. 9.54. Unbelievable. Yep. Yeah, there were a lot of dramas in the markets in my day, through the 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. Always dramas. And some would be massive blowups. And, we'd say to ourselves, well, I thought I heard everything. And now I hear this. And you think, well, we're never going to hear a story like this again. And then a few years later, another one shows up. Another crazy story takes place. Anyway, such is the world. Down 938 on the Dow Jones now. 957 on the Dow. We're down to 12 minutes to go. Okay. GWJ, any knowledge on reverse repo stuff? It's hit a record amount the past 5 days in a row with 2.2 trillion today. Yeah, I think what we're talking about here, I think I got this right. The reposition window, the repo window. At the end of every day, banks tally up all the loans they've made, all the loans that have been paid off, and all the deposits they've received, and they figure out their cash balance. And what banks will do, and this is just smart business, you might have a bank with $1 billion of cash on hand at the end of a business day. And so they'll send that money electronically to the Federal Reserve repo window. And the Federal Reserve will accept the donation of cash electronically and then credit the bank with that balance and then pay the bank interest on the money until tomorrow. The interest they pay will be minimal on a percentage basis, but it's some money. And all banks do this. So at the end of the day, the Federal Reserve gets a handle on how much cash is coming into the repo window, or if cash is not coming back to the repo window, because the next day, the bank that sent the billion to the Fed. The Fed sends the billion back to the bank first thing in the morning, and they go back and do business, which is lend money. And it could be that at the end of the next day, that same bank during the day is issuing more loans than they have cash on hand for, because they got a bunch of cash coming in 2 days and in 3 days. But today they're short of cash and they're getting lending requests. Might be payroll requests for a large corporation. They go to the repo window and borrow money from the Fed, and the Fed charges them the Fed funds rate, which is right now 1%, whatever it is. That's the one that's going up. So the bank accepts money from the Fed, and at the end of the day, doesn't send the Fed any money because they needed to borrow today. But the next day, some of the customers are paying back loans, and whatever loans they're making aren't equal to the amount of money that's coming in. And the next night, they're sending money back to the Fed that they borrowed yesterday to pay the Fed off. And then the next day, even more cash is coming in, and now they're depositing money with the Fed as a credit. Okay. So what's happening here is, do you have any thoughts on the repo window? There's 2.2 trillion in there. So on the one hand, you could say, oh, wow, $2.2 trillion is so much money. My God. Banks aren't lending out all the money they could be lending out. Well, the repo window is seasonal. It can go on a weekly basis. One week it can go crazy one way, the next week it can go crazy the next. It varies. So you can't judge it by that. The other thing that you have to keep in mind is that there are, I don't know how many hundreds of trillions of dollars in the financial system. Hundreds of trillions. So 2.2 is to nothing burger. Okay, now for any individual, of course, it's an incredible amount of money. But for the institution of the Fed and the worldwide banking system at large, it's a nothing burger. So it's just part of banking. It's just, sometimes you would say it's healthy that banks are sending money to the Fed more than they need, because they're not overextending themselves on their loan portfolios. And sometimes that's what the Fed wants. So it's not a bad thing. It's just a thing that we have to keep an eye on, but whatever. Zach, Alex, I thought the same thing about the Iran war, but then Escalades and SUVs became more popular than sliced bread. Yes, well, when George Bush Jr. was the president of the United States, he passed a tax bill that gave huge tax breaks to the very well-to-do, and included in that bill one of the little tiny little add-ons that probably somebody from the state of Michigan might have added in, a little one-liner that snuck in there, what we call an earmark. The earmark that snuck in and stuck around for a while was, if you ran a small business, less than a couple million a year in revenues, you could write off 100% of the cost of any company car, as long as it was 5,000 pounds or more in weight. So if you were trying to run one of these little Toyota 6-cylinder pickup, little minivans for deliveries, that didn't get you the 100% tax deduction. Oh, no. That wasn't heavy enough. No. You had to pick up one of those Escalades. You had to drive one of those Lincoln, whatever they were called, those suburban type cars, even Chevy Suburbans. You would take a Chevy Suburban 3/4 ton, load it up with every option imaginable, write a lease on the thing through your leasing company, and 100% of the cost is a write-off. It was one of the biggest tax gifts handed out to the auto industry indirectly, because the customer got the write-off. The auto guys made the car. But it created, in the end of the day, there were likely millions of these vehicles from all the big boys on the roads, polluting our air, getting 10 to 14 miles to the gallon, and causing fuel shortages down the road, because All this fuel was burned up for these gas guzzling monsters because the tax man made it possible for the entrepreneur out there to write it off. And the entrepreneur that wanted to use a 4-cylinder vehicle for deliveries, they had limited write-offs, but not the juicy write-offs that these rigs had. And that's how this business works. And that politician that added that little one-liner, go ahead and try to talk to that guy or girl, probably guy, about all the pollution they caused by enacting that rule. They'll tell you about all the jobs they created. Hey, we create a lot of jobs in the auto plants, and we create a lot of economic activity in the business world. And that's why I'm elected as a politician. Screw the environment, buddy. I create jobs. There you go. Vilbus, SUVs and trucks are the current top sellers. That's right. Vilbus, not to mention SUVs and trucks that are heavier and sit higher and are therefore more deadly than ever for pedestrians, cyclists, and those of small cars. Nick, irrational exuberance. Thank you, Nick. That is the line. Those are the 2 words he used, irrational exuberance. Sean and Wendy, down 1,000 on the Dow. Glad you prepped us for something happening. We feel stronger because we watch you not panicking. Thanks, of course, for all being part of this market. We're only down 876, so we did hit 1,000, but now it's 876. We got, 4 minutes to go. Nick, Greenspan, bag indicator, too thick interest rates going up, too thin stays as it is, no change. Yeah, I used to walk into the Federal Reserve building carrying a satchel. The thicker the satchel, higher rates. The thinner the satchel, lower rates. That was the guessing game going on. GW, I'm 29 and still haven't actually purchased a car before. Both cars I've had were hand-me-downs from my parents. Zach, wow, that's that. Thanks for that tidbit of info about the huge car write-off. I never knew. Austin, it's 6,000 pounds, and you can still do it today. Look at that, 2 tons, 3 tons. Cars less than 6,000, look at a write-off, just takes about 5 years instead of 1. BW, Bruce, this has been a painful, slow bleed out of 6 months. The media would have had you think this started in January, but how long will it take to gain back these 40 to 60% losses we've all got right now? Car culture has been a scam from the beginning. Austin, you can write off $18,000 for cars less than 6,000 pounds in the first year. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I remember that my daughter went to the private school in Palm Desert, just a block from her house. And I remember all the vehicles that would line up at around 3 in the afternoon for the 3:15 bell and then pick up the kids. And sure, there were Bentleys and there were Benzes. And, this is a high-end neighborhood here in Palm Desert. But, how many realtors, how many of the moms were realtors? And they all had Escalades. They all had full decked out Donatos, those Suburbans. Were they Donatos? I can't remember the name of those brands. The high-end XL, whatever, leather, everything with, you open the door and then the step comes out automatically and then the door closes and the step goes in automatically. Oh, they had all those bells and whistle machines. And they all had a hitch on them because they could pull their trailers in on weekends or whatever they wanted to do. But yeah, there were tons of them in California, where gas was $1 more a gallon than anywhere else, and these were selling like hotcakes, just like hotcakes, because it was a full write-off, a full-blown write-off. So if you had a good year this year, your accountant would say you should buy a brand new Escalade, XLS, whatever, for 60 grand and write the whole thing off, and then take a loan from through the business for it, and then pay it off over 7 or 8 years and get the write-off today. It was unbelievable. It was just absolutely unbelievable. Anyway, what can I say? GW, I'm trying to imagine buying a house. I don't have time to buy a new car too. Michael Denali, thank you. The Denali's. Austin, got my wife a Yukon for safety reasons. Some semi smokes the car. I want my little girl in a tank. Austin, 22 miles per gallon, not bad. We're down to a minute to go. I know that some of these rigs were diesel way back in the day, and so they were getting 30, 35 miles, but the Humvees, the Hummers, those the second generation of Hummer, tons of them were write-offs, pure tax write-offs. Yeah, incredible. Anyway, here we are at the end of it. We're down 898. We're just about to shut the day down. GameStop 118.41, 118.03 as we close down the day. Oh my gosh. Everybody, thank you. Wing Commander. I put my feet on the coffee table, got some ice cream, and watched my portfolio bleed. Thanks, Uncle Bruce, for making this bearable. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? We'll watch it, see what happens tomorrow, and go through another day, one day at a time. I think the bells are ringing. I think the bells are ringing. Larry Titus, there he is, the man himself. Thanks, Larry. As Golden Ramsay always says, shut it down, shut it down. Wing Commander, is Larry around? Someone needs to ring the bells. Zach, thanks, Larry. And again, what a bloodbath. Wing Commander, there he is. He's here. We're good. We're done. 874 is the final tally on the down. Like Friday, what was it, 850, something like that Friday? 874 today. Yikes. 381 on Matterport. Smart Rent 484. SoFi 561. Little recovery, ever so slight on SoFi. Aspire 133 down 17. GameStop 118.09 down $11. Yuck. ATIP down 28 cents to 171. Rocket Lab down 13. Cyxtera down 94. ME gained 4 to 225. You got Pfizer down 207. HPQ down $1.57. Home Depot down 551. A little recovery at the end there, just to frustrate Nick a little more. IBM down 108. Bannock Vectors down 1244. Microsoft dropped 1073 on the day. Apple down 525. Goldman down 366. Cisco down 25. Meta, which is Facebook, down 1131. And there you have it. That's an ugly day today. Anyway, we'll try. We'll try for better tomorrow. How about that? We'll give it a shot, see if we can make things better tomorrow. What the hey? We'll do what we can. Folks, thank you very much for being here, hanging out with us. Appreciate all of you who say hi to us and send us donations, and those of you who become members and all that good stuff. Thank you, everybody. Have a pleasant evening. Get a good rest. Charge up your batteries. We're going to try and do the same thing here, and we'll give it a go tomorrow and see what happens. Is this going to be the 5th straight day of down days tomorrow, or are we going to have a turnaround a little bit? I don't know. Splair, by the way, have a good night, and y'all. Hopefully tomorrow looks a little better. H. Gregory, laugh out loud. Yikes, Uncle Bruce. H. Gregory, I hope this lasts all week. Still have my arms folded for my GameStop 120s for Friday. Well, GameStop could still drop. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It can still drop. And so let's see what it wants to give us. The UBI, Uncle Bruce Index, is sitting at 452 now. A month ago it was 516. A year ago it was 1307. We got to get a turnaround on that. Would like to see one. Larry, Uncle Bruce, I hope you and AJ feel better and can go and enjoy Austria. Yes, we're going to try to get us some sleep now. Jen is already out like a light. It's my turn to join her here, and we're going to get some sleep, some shut-eye, and build up and charge up our batteries. See if we can do something in the morning, and then I'll be on the air with all of you tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern time. Of course, those of you who are Gold Bagel members, you guys up here, keep an eye for the alert show a little earlier than that, okay? Bama Babe, no problem achieving my cash goals today in the market. These types of downtrends makes it easy. Wing Commander, this can last all week. I want to go shopping. John Anderson, thanks, everybody. Have a great evening, everybody. Take care. Be well. Stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow morning, and we'll make more money then. From Vienna, it's Bruce and Jen saying bye for now.